G'day people, I'm down at the roundabout near the Ampol in Batemans Bay. I just want to talk to you for a minute or two about traffic and parking because it's the 29th of December and we all know what that means. Both of them are going to be really bad. So let's go. Now I've just ridden into town from Sunshine Bay, and when I came over this beautiful new expensive bridge, which was supposed to get rid of all the traffic woes on the old bridge, the traffic was banked up in 2 lanes going into town most of the way back to the roundabout. So yeah, it really solved that problem, didn't it? Look, it's great the rest of the year, but you know, obviously nothing that we build is going to be able to cope with the traffic volumes that we have during holiday periods. And if the towns along the south coast continue to grow and we get more people and more tourists, this problem is just going to get worse year on year. So what do we do about it? Well, I've got a simple solution, and that is that, you know, people have to drive down here. Obviously there's, you know, no trains that come into town and not that many flights, and yeah, you could get here by boat, but that could be a bit tricky. And although I'm pretty keen on riding my bike, I wouldn't ride this down from Canberra or Sydney or Gong. But I think the answer is that once people get here, we should be encouraging them for the short trips to not jump in their car and drive into town. We should be doing what these people on the bridge with me are doing, either walking or riding a bike, or jumping in some kind of go-for-mobile, those little electric pensioner things. But how easy is it to do that? Well, sure, we've got a shared path, that hard active thing that goes out to Batehaven, which serves, I don't know, what, 10% of the population of Batemans Bay, and everybody else has no choice but to drive. Let me just, the view's not that great today because it's a bit overcast. Let's just have a look. Okay, right, I'm going fast in the traffic because it's stalled in both lanes. So look, what I'm going to do over the next couple of weeks during the holidays is a short series of videos where I'm going to ride into town and I'm going to look at all the destinations in town and see, could you conveniently and securely lock a bike up? Because look, it's all very well building shared paths and stuff like that, but if you can't lock your bike up next to your destination when you get there and know it's going to be there when you get back, I mean, no one wants to have the e-bike stolen. You know, it could be $5,000 down the toilet. And then you've got a long walk home as well. If you can't do that, then people aren't going to ride. What they're going to do, they're going to drive like all these people. And you know, the car park down here under the bridge is full. I rode down to 7 and did a U-turn. There was not a space to be seen. And riding into town, the traffic was queued up pretty much all the way back to the Batehaven shops, back to where the fair is or the high school. So look, you know, the answer, what do you want to do? Do you want to make this bridge 3 lanes in each direction? Do you want to turn you know, the road out to Batehaven into, you know, 6-lane highway? I don't think that's going to work. We've got to do something else. And, you know, one would be to get rid of all the tourists. I don't think that's going to work. 2 would be to stop people moving down here. I don't think that's going to work either. The third one was just rethink our transport options. And you know, we're part way there already. You know, plenty of people are using the path, but it could be used a hell of a lot more. But you know, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here, try not to get run over, but I'm going to go to places all the way. Well, I'll probably start at 7 Cafe actually, and I'm going to visit the cafes, the shops, the bakeries, the tourist destinations, everything you can possibly think of where you might want to go of when you're down here holidaying with your family, and see, where can I lock the bike up? Simple as that. And look, if there's no infrastructure, then people aren't going to do it, and our parking problems aren't going to get any better, and our commute times aren't going to get any better during the holiday periods. So anyway, that's my 2 cents worth. We'll see what I can come up with over the next couple of weeks.
When I got home from that ride, I did a search on the council website for bike parking, and I found 2 vaguely useful documents: a pathway strategy from 2017 and a parking and access code from 2012. In my opinion, both were pretty hopeless when it comes to addressing the issue of bike parking. It seems all council wants to do is provide some parking for council staff at council facilities and force developers of large shopping centres to install bike parking for shoppers. It says nothing about helping out small businesses with bike parking, and it's actually the myriad of small businesses that are the main driver of our tourism and service industries. Council seems to be taking a not my problem approach to giving them some support. Now, I spent about half of 2021 and 2022 working from Perth, and I killed some time during my last visit by documenting bike parking at over 45 cafes across Perth. I chose cafes because, well, I like to stop for coffee and food during a ride, but I could have also selected bakeries, newsagents, chemists, butchers, supermarkets, tackle shops, ice cream parlours, clothing stores, or pubs. It wouldn't have made much difference because a lot of Perth councils have really gotten into providing bike parking outside all sorts of different destinations. Now, not every cafe had bike parking or convenient bike parking, but a lot did, and it shows what can be done if councils get behind the idea of enabling people to shop by bike. From what I've seen so far, bike parking around our shire is pretty rubbish by comparison with WA. Instead of asking you to take my word for that statement, I'm going to ride around as many places as possible and document what's installed and what's missing. I'm going to provide some facts rather than opinions. Now, I had a quick look at 6 businesses while filming this first video, and they're going to be featured in the next video in this series.